I've made a video discussing what the Ukrainian victory could look like. Now it's time for the Russian victory. To start this scenario, we basically only need the Russian armed forces to make some major but fully doable progress. Successful sieges behind the front lines free up enough troops to push the Ukrainians back further, and soon enough Kiev is fully encircled and eventually captured along with President Zelensky. The State Duma of Kiev is established as the new government of the Ukrainian Federation, while the loyalists continue the fight from Lviv, the new capital of Free Ukraine. And for some time the war continues until the Russians have captured most of the country, except for the more easily defended Podolian uplands in the west. By now, the Russian superiority in manpower and resources have become evident. There is no way that what remains of the Ukrainian army will be able to recapture their lost lands, and with most of the country already fallen, many favor surrendering just to end the war and the destruction of their country. This is a major problem for the Lviv government. Meanwhile, with Chinese aid, Russia has recovered from the initial setbacks caused by the Western sanctions. Donetsk and Luhansk are annexed as new republics into the Russian Federation, while the rest of occupied Ukraine is controlled through Kiev, with the exception of Kharkiv and Kherson, who have both been given autonomous status to prevent them from becoming new centers for resistance. And when the union state of Russia and Belarus is fulfilled, Free Ukraine is admitted into the European Union. A referendum to unite with Poland is rejected out of fear of spreading the war west to Poland and the rest of Europe, but Moldova, with a large portion of the population supportive of Moscow, falls into the Russian sphere of influence. Thus, with the front lines having come to a standstill, a second Iron Curtain has fallen over Europe, and the Second Cold War sees yet another proxy war as China launches a full-scale invasion of Taiwan. Once again, the West fails to prevent this loss, but at least a nuclear World War III is avoided, or rather postponed for now. In time, the European front shifts north to the Baltic Sea, where Moscow have new ambitions on the Baltic states and Gotland, important strategic prizes, both of them. But these new expansions will have to wait until Russia can free up more troops from the occupation of Ukraine. Partisan resistance is still a major issue, and all these thousands of dead Russians are not at all popular with the people back home, no matter how impressive the land gains may be. At the end of the day, the Russian invasion of Ukraine is seen as a clear example of the slowly decreasing power and influence of the West, and the rise of a new expansionist and militarist Eastern Bloc, primarily made up out of Russia and China and their respective allies or puppets, countries not exactly known for their freedom and democracy. Any ideas of flirting with the West as Ukraine did is out of the question, as they now know what will happen. In time, Putin will step down, but the Putinist ideology of pursuing a greater Russia and preventing the EU and NATO from expanding further east lives on in his successor, whoever he may be. And in Russia, Putin is not remembered as a second Stalin, but rather yet another strong leader alongside Peter and Catherine, the Greats, who defended Russia and brought victory to the motherland in face of great foreign threats.